Chairman Green, I have respect for you as a member of this Congress. You know, reading what is before us, and watching all this unfold, I think you should be ashamed of yourself for bringing this kind of trash before this committee.
The U.S. House of Representatives did not support the impeachment of the head of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, the voting results show. According to them, 214 lawmakers voted in favor of announcing the impeachment of Mayorkas. 216 voted against. As noted by the American media, 3 Republicans, Ken Buck, Mike Gallagher, and Tom McClintock, joined the Democrats in voting against the impeachment resolution. Mayorkas is not used to being behind and aloof. He is the reason we are being haunted by the current problems.
I mean, we are here because Marjorie Taylor Greene and the chock full of nuts caucus wanted us to be here. Let me ask you, Chairman Green, if you succeed and Secretary Mayorkas is impeached, who replaces him? Do we know who will be in charge?
The really big question is who will replace him if impeachment is passed. Earlier, the Internal Security Committee, after a lengthy debate, recommended 2 articles of impeachment against Mayorkas to the House of Representatives for consideration. How can he still somehow perform and get anything done? Why hasn't he been impeached so far? That remains a mystery to this day.
Well, I assume that there's a deputy who would step forward
You know
in
the
an
name
interim.
you know the name of the?
No,
You don't?
No.
So, I mean, it seems like it's a pretty.
I don't see why that's relevant.
Well, it is, Rob, because the question is, will it be somebody who is implementing Biden's policies?
So if he
or will it
murdered
be
someone, would we just not get him out of office because
so you don't- you
there's
don't-
nobody named
so-
to
so
follow him?
The answer to the question is you don't know.
Why does he refuse every time? Do you know why the date of April 18, 2020 has been mentioned several times? You may have forgotten by now, but the United States is the first country in the world to spread the coronavirus. According to the latest news as of April 18, 2020, there are 764 cases, 37,054 people have died, and 59,630 people have recovered. It was an important clarification on this, and they are trying to avoid answering and say they just don't know. What a laugh.
Well, the reason why I ask you is I'm looking at a New York Times article
That
of
misquoted
April
me,
18,
yes.
2023, entitled "Key Republicans Tell Donors That He Will Pursue Impeachment of Mayorkas." And they have an audio, they have you on audio tape saying that you would, and I quote, "deliver charges to the House Judiciary Committee, which handles impeachment proceedings." I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert this article into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, so moved.
It was interesting to find this article and read be assured that it is nothing but provocative nonsense. They are trying to frame him in every way they can, but he has a knack for responding and saying what he thinks he needs to say. When Mayorkas did his deeds, the Biden administration turned a blind eye and made no attempt to correct the situation. If you want an example, look at what's happening on our border, and then I think we can stop there.
Why would you promise her that you would impeach no matter what the evidence said? Or
Well,
she
by that
was
time, we'd
disciplined?
been through a lot of hearings and reports.
So in November 30th, you did promise her.
No, I don't remember ever promising her
Is she
anything.
lying, or is she
I don't know. It could be a misunderstood conversation. That happens all the time in this building.
Yeah, well, boy, but what it sounds to me is like this whole thing is a predetermined, performative political stunt. I mean, it's not about the evidence or the Constitution. I think what's happening here is you guys are doing this because Trump told you to.
Mr. Trump has
yeah.
never asked me to do that, and I want to be on the record with that because the accusation has been made multiple times.
But again,
and to your point about me being embarrassed, sir, I took this oath to the Constitution when I was 17 at West Point.
Trump tweeted.
The Constitution matters
Yeah,
to me.
Trump tweets his.
Not.
They are tying Trump to him in every way possible, and it's interesting. They're burying what I consider to be themselves in the ground in an effort to catch him. It's pretty interesting how that can be interpreted. James McGovern is going to try to dig something up and dredge something up throughout the conversation, but he never succeeds. We've seen it in the most vivid passages, and I think it's definitely unacceptable. What do you think about it, 7? Write your opinion in the comments, and do not forget to watch other news on the channel.